Hello guys, this is David with Tech Info. So today I am going to be reinstalling Windows 7. I got a project going on. I am actually I'm about to reinstall my Windows 7 operating system on my virtual machine on one of my hard drives. So pretty much the reason why I'm doing this is because I had my virtual machine set up. I had given it a specific size of hard disk space, and that wasn't very efficient for me because I wasn't using all of the space that I gave in it. So what I am going to be doing now is I am going to be setting it up so it only uses the space that it needs and not have a fixed amount. So that's why I'm reinstalling Windows 7. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to record the installation and show you guys how to install Windows 7. So that's what I am doing here. So again, what you need to do is you're going to be needing your Windows 7 DVD that either came with your PC, or if you bought one, you can buy one at Best Buy, or you can buy one at Newegg or Tiger Direct or Amazon. You can pretty much buy any. You can pretty much buy Windows 7 DVDs on most of the places like Target. I don't even know if Walmart have some. Maybe they don't, but I wouldn't be so. I think no, they do. I actually do remember seeing Windows 7 DVDs at Walmart. So yeah, you can buy them at Walmart too. Um, so. Okay, so again, what you're gonna have to do is if you're reinstalling Windows, make sure that you back up all of your documents because all of that stuff is going to be deleted. So make sure that you have a backup. So once you created a backup, the next thing that you're going to have to do is go ahead and put in your DVD, then restart your computer, and then when the computer is booting up, pay attention. It's either going to give you the option to press escape to set up or to select a boot device. So make sure you pay attention when the computer restarts so you can do what you need to do in order to have your computer boot from your DVD drive. So it doesn't matter whether if it's a laptop or a desktop. The process is the same. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this video and get started. I mean my virtual machine. So now that my virtual machine is booting from the DVD, uh, this is the first thing that you're going to be seeing. It looks like Windows 7 is actually starting normally, but it's actually booting from the DVD. Okay, so now here all you gotta do is just select your language and then next and then install now. So a while back I did a video on how to install Windows 8 with Windows 7 doing a dual boot, and the process it's pretty much the same. Nothing has changed when it comes to installing Windows 7 and Windows 8. Well, maybe some minor stuff, but nothing that you wouldn't be able to figure out. It's still very simple to do. The process is just time consuming. That's it, but it's still very simple to do. Okay, now here, you're not going to be getting this option here. The only reason why I'm getting this option here is because I have created a ISO image of multiple Windows 7 operating systems. So you're not going to get this option here. You're just going to get the next step. So here I am going to be selecting my operating system that I want to install, and I want to install Windows 7 Professional, and then click next. This is the window that you're going to get. And then after you read the license agreement, you can select I accept, then next. Now here you're going to want to do a custom. Now this is the part where if you have multiple partitions, now if you do have multiple partitions, and if you don't want to keep them, then you're going to want to delete them. And the way you do that is just by selecting them, go to driver options, and then you're going to have the option to delete them. But since mine is already deleted, I don't have the option. It's already faded out. And you can also create a partition if you want to do that by selecting format and then giving it a certain amount of space. So then after you select the partition that you are going to be installing Windows 7 on, you just click next, and that's it. So now Windows 7 is being installed, and all you have to do is just wait. This is a solid state hard drive that I am using for my virtual machines here, so the installation is going to be pretty fast. But if you are using a mechanical hard drive, the installation can take a bit. It also depends how fast is your processor. Um, so yeah. So I am going to be pausing the video and let the installation finish. Once the installation finish, I am going to unpause it and continue with this video. Okay guys, so the computer just restarted just now, and so as you can see, I had a error. So I'm gonna go ahead and troubleshoot this. I'm sure it's something minor. You're probably not going to encounter this error. So I'm just gonna go ahead and for now I'm just gonna go ahead and select continue and see what happens. So I'm gonna go ahead and click next. There you go. Okay, so now it's asking me to choose an operating system, so I'm just gonna go ahead and select Windows 7, and I'm gonna go ahead and start normally, and still getting the error. So I'm gonna go ahead and research that error, and I'll get back next to you. Okay guys, so that issue that I was having with my computer was just a setting that I needed to configure on my VirtualBox, because on my VirtualBox, that is the application that I'm using to run virtual machines. And yeah, so that was a setting that had to do with the virtual application and not the installation itself. So that's all that was. So you're not going to be running into that type of issue. And if you do, make sure to Google it if you have another computer, and I'm sure you'll find the answer to that issue that you're having. But most likely you won't have that issue unless you have some other hardware issues going on or your media is damaged. But no, you shouldn't run into that type of issue. So okay, so this is what happened. So the installation got to a certain point, and the computer restarted like it did right now. So this is normal. So the installation is taking place right now, and all you have to do is just wait, and that's it. So yeah, so this is normal. So okay, great. So this was pretty fast actually. Again, I'm using a SSD hard drive, a solid state hard drive, so it's real fast. So your installation might take a lot longer. The actual installation, when I paused the video, it took about 8 minutes, so that is real fast. Okay, so now here I am going to be typing a name, so you just type the username for your account that you want to create. So for me, I am going to be using Wins Pro. There you go. And let me see here. Yeah, Wins Pro 1. There you go. Okay, now down here, you're going to want to name your PC. So I'm just going to name my PC Windows 7 Pro. There you go. Okay, so then you just click next, and here, if you want to create a password, you have that option. If you don't want to create one, you just select next. I'm just going to do that later. Select next. Now here it's asking you for the product key for your operating system. Now make sure that you do have this product key available. Usually with Windows 7, the product key, if you have a laptop, is going to be somewhere in the bottom of the laptop. I have seen also this sticker, this product key, under the battery. So if you don't see the product key, it's going to be on a sticker. So if you don't see the product key sticker under your laptop, make sure that you take out the battery, because most likely it's under the battery. Now, if you don't have a product key, make sure that you do not reinstall Windows, because you're going to need a product key within 30 days. Because if you don't input a product key, uh, pretty much the operating system is going to be unusable. Microsoft is just going to lock it down, and you're not going to be able to do much with it. So for now, I'm not going to input my product key. I'm just going to go ahead and do that later. And make sure that you leave this check, automatically activate Windows when I'm online. Well, it's up to you, but I like to leave that check, because pretty much what's going to happen is that Windows it's going to start asking you for a product key. But yeah, if you have your product key with you, make sure that you input it. And if you don't have it, then don't reinstall Windows, because your Windows operating system is not going to be usable. If your computer is not functioning and you can't get it fixed yourself, just call a technician. Go to your local computer repair person, or go to Best Buy, where they'll fix it. Okay, so now we just click next, and then here make sure you use the recommended settings. Always use the recommended settings. Well, not all the time, but about 99% of the time you want to use what Windows recommends, so always do that. Now here you're going to want to select your time zone. So I'm going to go ahead and select my time zone, and then select next. And now here you're going to want to select your network settings. For me, I got my network set up as a work network, but for now I don't want this computer talking to anybody, so I'm just going to be selecting public network, and that's it. So now we just wait, and that's it. Again, guys, make sure that you do have that product key. If you have a desktop, that product key sticker is going to be somewhere on your desktop. You're going to see that sticker, and it's going to say product key. Let me see if I'm going to go ahead and Google product key, and I'm going to see if I can pull up some images. Let me see here. Okay, so now the installation is complete. So we have just reinstalled Windows. So the first thing that you're going to want to do. Now, when you reinstall Windows, keep in mind that if you are reinstalling Windows from a Windows 7 DVD drive, I mean CD or DVD, whatever you want to call it. If you're installing Windows from a DVD, you're going to need your Ethernet drivers, or your wireless card driver, in order to connect to the internet. Now, that's not always the case if you have the Windows 7 disk that came with your computer. Most likely those drivers for your computer already are on that disk, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you bought Windows 7 separately, then you are going to be needing those drivers in order to connect to the internet. So make sure that before you start the installation, that you have the drivers that you need. If you have an HP computer, just Google HP drivers and go from there. Just follow the directions. If you have a Dell computer, just Google Dell drivers and get all those drivers that you need. Without the drivers, you're not going to be able to use your hardware from your laptop, like the camera, the SD card slot. A lot of the time, USB 3.0 ports won't work, and stuff like that. So make sure you get those drivers. That way you can. That way your computer will be 100% functional. So, okay. So now, as you can see, since I got a virtual machine, so I automatically get a driver for my Ethernet card. Windows is already downloading and installing updates. So that is the next thing that you're going to want to do, is check for updates and make sure that you finish installing updates and just follow the directions. Right now it says restart now. To finish installing updates, restart, and that's it. So this is what you're going to be doing. So you're going to be checking for updates, installing the updates, and if you need to restart, restart. That's so you're going to be doing this until there's no more updates left, and then once you finish installing all the updates, and once you check for updates and Windows is telling you that your computer is up to date and that there is no more updates, then you can start installing your applications. For example, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, iTunes, whatever applications you use. Then you can start doing that. It's definitely an antivirus. Make sure you get that. So again, get back into checking for updates, and then see, accept, license terms, finish. That's it. This is very time consuming. This is very time consuming. So if you have a computer with a Pentium processor or Celeron or some type of AMD processor that's real slow, it can definitely take anywhere between 6 to 8 hours to install all of your updates and your drivers. So this is definitely time consuming, but if you have a fast computer with an i5 or an i7 Intel processor or a quad core AMD processor, the installation is definitely going to be a lot faster. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely make sure that you follow the rules, and one of the rules is to install all of the Windows updates. Make sure you keep checking for Windows updates until there is no more updates left. Because if you don't install all of the updates that are available for your computer, you run the risk of getting a virus, of getting infected while you're browsing the web, because you don't have all of the latest updates for your computer. Once you finish checking for updates and you get a message stating that your computer is up to date and that there's no more updates, then you need to find a antivirus, which I recommend Microsoft Security Essentials. With Windows 7 here lately, if they detect that, if Windows detects that you don't have an antivirus, they will actually recommend Microsoft Security Essentials through Windows updates, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes it takes them a while. So just Google Microsoft Security Essentials and get that antivirus. And once you get your antivirus, then you can start installing. Obviously, you're going to need Flash Player to watch videos and Adobe Reader to read PDF files. And you're also going to need Java, because a lot of websites use Java, and if you don't have Java, then you're not going to be able to view those websites. So those are the three important pieces of software that you're going to need. I mean, four: an antivirus, Adobe Reader, Adobe Flash Player, and Java. And so that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and until I finish installing all the updates, and I'm gonna go ahead and walk you through those steps. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video right now. Okay, guys. So right now the updates are being installed. I also want to mention that if you have a very slow internet connection, when your computer is downloading all of these updates, it can take forever to download them. So just keep that in mind, that this process can definitely take a couple hours. I have my internet connection, it's not that fast, but this is the fastest that I can get where I live at. So I'm only getting roughly anywhere between 20 and 26 megs download, and then I'm also got a lot going on in my network, so I'm not even getting all that really. all the time while the download is being downloading. So if you are only getting 3 megabits download speeds, uh, downloading all of these updates, it's very time consuming. It can definitely take some time. So just keep that in mind and be patient. But yeah, so let me see here. What else do I need to mention? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, so when you're installing Windows 7, when you want to do a fresh install of Windows 7, when you want to start over with your computer, which is a great thing to do at least once a year. I always recommend doing this at least once a year. Uh, you're gonna wanna, of course, the first thing is if you don't have access to another computer, you're gonna wanna download all of the drivers for your computer. Even if you do have some drivers that came with, even if you do have the disks that came with your computer, um, it's not a bad idea to download the drivers from the website, from the manufacturer's website first, because when you do that, you're making sure that you are installing the latest drivers. So that is always a good idea to do. You always want to have the latest drivers on your computer. It'll just keep it running a lot smoother, and it'll be more secure. So yeah, but yeah, again, make sure you have that product key. And another thing that I want to mention is that it's a good idea to do a fresh install whenever your computer gets infected by some pretty bad viruses, by some serious viruses. Uh, and you might be wondering, well, how do I know that I have a serious virus? Well, let's say that you catch a virus and then you download Malwarebytes and run it. And what I recommend is whenever you are checking for viruses, make sure that you save the logs. That way you know what type of malicious software, malicious viruses were found on the computer. And then you research those viruses and then you find out exactly what they do, if there is any type of info. Because, you know, whenever there's new viruses, which is all the time, they're always coming out with new viruses. They're always writing new viruses. But you always want to research those viruses and find out exactly what they do, and then you need to make a decision how exactly, if they're dangerous enough that you need to reinstall the operating system. Uh, Especially if you got some type of rootkits, because usually when you have a rootkit, what the rootkits are meant to hide other malicious applications. So you never know what could be in your computer. So yeah, just do your research and then decide for yourself, or join a forum and get some help and see what those guys recommend you. You know, or if you remove the virus with your antivirus and your computer is still acting really bad, and you know, you're still getting pop-ups, and you know, if your computer is not functional because of that virus after you have already removed that, then you know that the issue is pretty serious. And instead of wasting 6 to 8 hours or even 48 hours, and you can definitely take a couple days removing viruses manually. And instead of wasting all of that time, you can just reinstall Windows and solve the problem a lot faster instead of scanning for multiple hours and doing that stuff. That's what I recommend. So yeah, so that's what I recommend. I am A plus CompTIA certified, and I'm also M plus CompTIA certified. So that's what I was taught, and when I was studying for my A plus, and any technician will tell you that. Any knowledgeable technician will tell you that, and usually people will charge you more. Computer technicians will charge you more to remove a virus than to reinstall Windows, because it takes longer to remove a virus. So that's why they will charge you a lot more to remove a virus. Uh, But I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole nother topic that I really don't want to discuss. I just want to focus on reinstalling Windows. Again, if you got a bad virus and if you can't get rid of it, don't waste all that time trying to remove it, because at the end of the day, there's a good possibility that you probably won't be able to remove it, and you're just going to waste all of that time. And so just back up your data and reinstall Windows. But if you don't have a disk, then you might have to remove it manually. And I'm not saying that you can't, but sometimes you just can't. I mean, that is the truth. Sometimes you just can't. And that's when having images and backups, come into play. But, again, that is a whole nother topic. So, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the video while this installation is continuing. Okay guys, so the updates are still being installed right now. So what I did here, I did a Google search and got some images to show you exactly how your product key stickers looks like. So this is exactly how a Windows 7 product key sticker looks like, and your product key is right there. So just look for a sticker like this on your laptop or your desktop. It's going to be somewhere in there, and if it's not, that means that it has already been removed. Somebody did it accidentally without knowing what they were doing. So you're going to have to purchase another product key. And while you can't just purchase a product key, well, not that I know of, but you're just going to have to purchase a whole nother media. Even if you do have the DVD, you're still going to have to get a product key. So when you get a product key, that comes with a DVD. So that's what you're going to need. You're going to need the product key, and that's that right there. So I'm going to go ahead and move that down here. Okay, so as you can see, right now the Windows updates are being installed. Now to activate Windows, you need to go into the Start and then right click Computer, go to Properties, and then go down here, click that link, select Activate Windows Online, and that's it. Now make sure that you finish installing all of the Windows updates first, then activate Windows. So then you just type in the product key right there, and once you type it in, you click Next, and that's it. If you have any issues activating your Windows installation, you're going to get the option to install it by phone, and it's going to give you a 1-800 number. So just follow the directions and call that number, and they will help you to activate your operating system. But that's it. So that is how you activate your Windows 7 operating system. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that, and let's see here. Let's see how far. This is going to take a while here. Okay, so right now we have some Windows updates that are being installed, and they're being downloaded or installed. For some reason, it's Windows updates. Windows not opening. There you go. Okay, so that's that. So again, you're going to want to download Adobe Flash Player once you finish installing all of the updates. So once your computer reboots, make sure you go to Windows Updates and check for updates. Even if you get the message when you open up Windows Updates saying that Windows is up to date or that there is no more updates, just click the link, check for updates, and if it tells you that there is no more updates, that Windows is up to date after you selected check for updates, then that means your computer has the latest updates. So then the next step is going to be to download Adobe Flash Player and Adobe Reader. So just Google that, Adobe Flash Player download. go to Adobe's website. Do not download those applications from anywhere else. Go to Adobe's website, download Adobe Flash Player and Adobe Reader, and also download Java. I have not been using Java that much lately, and I haven't really had any issues. But if you like to play games in your PC, a lot of games uses Java, so you might need Java to play those games. So just go ahead and install it if you feel like you're going to need it, or if you feel like that, if you don't want to install it, and if you do need it in the future, you can always download Java and install it. It only takes like 2 minutes the most, maybe not even that. So yeah, so you're going to need those three applications. Uh, you're definitely going to be needing Adobe Flash Player to watch videos, unless you're using Google Chrome. With Google Chrome, you don't need to download Flash Player separately. Flash Player already comes with Google Chrome, so you would only need Adobe Flash Player to watch videos with Internet Explorer and Mozilla Firefox. And of course, Adobe Reader is to read PDF files. So if you need to read PDF files, I mean, we all do. Well, not everybody, but a lot of us do. So yeah, you might want to get that one too. So that's why I recommend getting Adobe Flash Player and Adobe Reader and Java. So then, but before you get those three applications, make sure that you get a antivirus security suite. And the one that I recommend is Microsoft Security Essentials. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave some links. That way you guys can download Microsoft Security Essentials if you don't have a paid antivirus security suite. So if you want to get a free one, I recommend Microsoft Security Essentials. But that is it. That is it. That is it when it comes to installing Windows. Again, this process can be very time consuming. So especially if you have a slow computer. But yeah. So that is it. I think I'm gonna wrap it up. It's already been close to 3 minutes now. I mean 33 minutes on this video. So it's going to take at least another hour, or maybe less than an hour, probably a lot less, maybe another 20 minutes for me to finish with this operating system, with this machine. It's going to take me at least another 20 to 30 minutes to download all of the updates and install Adobe Flash and all of the applications that I use. So I'm not going to record that, but that's all you have to do. It's very simple. So yeah. So again, guys, if you run into any issues, there is been some common issues when you're installing Windows updates. When you do a fresh install, you might get an error message. If you do get an error message, make sure to Google that, and you will find the solution. If you don't find the solution by doing a simple Google search, make sure that you join a community forum and post your error message, and those guys will help you find whatever issue, those guys will help you resolve whatever the issue might be that you're having. So yeah, so make sure that you Google whatever error messages that you might get. But yeah, so that's it. So again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope this video has been informative to y'all. And if you do, and if you did enjoy the video, make sure that you please subscribe and please like the video. And again, I'd like to thank you guys for watching.